we are recording. Emma, thank you so much for joining us. I know you've got loads and loads of information to help our audiences out with. For those of you who don't know Emma, Emma is from Links Injury. She's a sports and injury therapist in Lincoln. I'm very fortunate enough, she's my sports and injury therapist. So you all ask me who I go and see. I see my chiropractor and I see Emma on a very regular basis. I am very lost without you right now, Emma. So I'm really intrigued to know what you've got to say, because quite selfishly, it's going to help me, but also I know it's going to provide a lot of great information for our audience. So thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate that.
Probably. Thank you for having me.
So if we think about where people are right now, we're inside, we're forced to stay home, we're told we can only do one bit of movement a day. And we just spoke at the beginning of the show, the most important thing people can do is keep moving. But if you just feel like you can't be bothered or you don't know what to do, what kind of advice do you have to help people with?
I think the first thing is to find something that you actually enjoy doing. So whether or not it's a favourite song that you love to listen to and you're just rocking around having a good boogie, that can be really useful for you and get your heart rate up a little bit. And it might then give you that incentive to maybe play the next song on your playlist that you like, and continue to do that. And you might end up with about a good 20 minutes worth of exercise, actually. So I'd say that that's really big for motivation, is finding something that you actually enjoy doing. So if you don't enjoy the sort of Joe Wicks half an hour in the morning, don't feel pressured to do it. Do your own thing. It doesn't have to be as structured and routine maybe as what you think it should be. It's just about getting up and getting moving, really.
I think that's brilliant. And sometimes people don't really understand that you don't have to put your running shorts on and your sports top on to go and do some exercise. I remember when my mum was very ill years and years ago when I was a boy, and she blasted Meatloaf and Jimmy Somerville out of the speaker. She danced around the kitchen, but that was her way of keep moving. And now it's the same, and music has a huge ability to do that. So with or without an exercise program, dance is good, is what you're saying. Is that right?
Dancing is absolutely amazing for you, and it's about finding and tuning into those songs that you enjoy as well, that maybe take you back a few years or to your wedding dancing or whatever. It's just about getting up, getting moving and enjoying yourself, and that will bring you happiness as well, which is really important in times like this where some people are feeling quite isolated. It might jog some of those good memories back from clubbing or whatever.
I'm intrigued. If I had to ask you to put a song on right now, Emma, what's it going to be?
Oh, that's a difficult one. Do you know what? I quite like The Eye of the Tiger still. It's one of the first ones sung out to me. Just makes me feel good and strong, quite powerful about myself, actually. So that's what I go for.
I can just imagine you rocking to the beat of that one. It's brilliant. Mine's a little bit more camp. I'd have Elton John and Kiki D, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. But I don't know how we got to that. Anyway, so you talk about doing something you enjoy and getting moving. We also spoke a little bit about trying to vary the types of exercise that you're doing to make sure that you really are working your body to its best potential. So
yeah, absolutely. So that's really important, is trying to vary it up a little bit as well. So there's quite a few components of fitness. The main ones really being our cardiovascular system and our strength for power and for endurance as well. And these are the things that are really going to lack during this time. We're not going to be sprinting to get the closest bus or to make sure we're on work on time and things. A lot of people are just in their house a lot. So that cardiovascular fitness is not really there as much. So whether or not it's the high intensity to get you out of breath and puffing, or whether or not it is just that steady endurance, being on your feet all day. If you work at clothing shops, maybe that unpacking of the tote bags when they go, tote boxes when they come in. Or for me, I'm used to standing up so much. I've never done so much sitting down before. So we're really not getting in that cardiovascular fitness that same way. So making sure that you are still trying to get that in, again, via songs or something a little bit more structured, by going out for a walk, and doing some intervals maybe on that walk. So going for 5 minutes slow and then really, really, really power it for 2 minutes is a really good way of keeping up with your cardiovascular fitness. And then the other one being strength as well, strength of power and endurance. Again, it's one of those, we might not be pushing any heavy fire doors open or just doing some basic strength work. So it is really important with whatever equipment you've got around the house to try and do some strength stuff. Even heavy household cleaning, that's a good one to do. If you've got a rucksack at home, you can just load some stuff up in there and maybe carry it around with you for a little bit, walk upstairs and back downstairs. That type of thing can really help with maintaining the strength as well.
It's funny you said it, because I went down this morning and my wife was there with 2 shopping bags just doing this with them. I'm like, what do you do with these shopping bags? They were full of tins of tomatoes and jars of olives, but
absolutely,
still you can do that kind of thing.
You can, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people have gone out and bought expensive equipment, but there's really no need. When you start to think about household objects, you can be quite creative, actually.
I think it's brilliant. So you don't need to invest and you don't need to do anything too structured. You can just, clean the house a bit faster than you might have cleaned it before and get out of breath.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I would definitely make sure that you're getting out of breath at least probably about 3-4 times a day. It doesn't have to be for very long, but just so we are used to raising our heart rate and then dropping it again, as well as keep moving. And that's really, really important for our just general well-being.
I love the fact how simple you make it, because it really is. It doesn't have to be difficult, and you might think I've done nothing today, but if you actually looked back at what you have done that day, maybe you have cleaned the house, maybe you have walked up and down the stairs 10 times, you have actually done some level of strength and cardiovascular exercise that you thought maybe you hadn't got in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd encourage people to even take a diary, or even if it's just a sort of a quick picture on your phone, just to remind yourself that you have actually done something. I think it's very easy, especially in these times, to go, oh, I've been in the house all day, I've not actually done anything. But then when you think back, you've done more than what you think you have. Whether or not it is when you're making tea, getting down on the floor and doing some 10 press ups and then back up and stir fry around again or something, then log it all, and you can actually find that you've done a lot more exercise than what you think as well. It's just trying to take advantage of it as and when you can.
I suppose a lot of people are out in the garden as well. They're physical in the garden.
Oh yeah, just beautiful weather.
So yeah, it is simple, and I think what people can take home from this is that you probably are doing this already. And if not, find the thing that you actually enjoy doing and lean into that. I suppose is a summary really of what we've said. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it varied, but again, keep it fun, and enjoy the sun definitely at the moment as well. So a lot of people are actively gardening. I know a lot of people around my area are, myself included, and that's really good strength work. And you can be out for hours in the garden as well. So I think it's easy. Whilst the weather's good at the moment, to keep active.
So I think that's really helpful for our listeners. And the other thing that I wanted to cover today, I think is really, really worth doing, is there's a lot of people who see therapists such as yourself on a relatively regular basis, and now they don't have that potential or opportunity to do so. So if you could speak to them, like what could they be doing to help themselves if they really are struggling through this time?
I mean, absolutely. So a lot of people are used to that hands-on touch, that hands-on feel. So when you're suffering from maybe more of a chronic injury or chronic pain, it's a difficult time at the moment. So there are some tools out there, such as foam rollers, which are less than £10, that you can just try and at least just get some relaxation into the muscle tissue as well into there. Doing some basic accessory work, maybe some things have been suggested in the past that you've just not really had time to do or been bothered to do because you think it's easier to just get a treatment instead. So it might be worth picking up a resistance band or a foam roller just to start to do some work really and get your muscles to a position that they're looking after you a little bit more, rather than the external therapist doing it.
I think that's brilliant. You saw me grinning a little bit there because I'm probably quite guilty of that myself. So, yeah, we've all been told what we should be doing to help ourselves. And I think if we're all very, very honest, that maybe we don't listen to that and do it as well. Just about doing the work, isn't it, I suppose?
Absolutely. It's easier to go see your therapist every couple of weeks, maybe a few times more, obviously, for manipulations, and just get on with life as normal. But in a time where we can't do this, maybe it is time to actually listen to what we have been told in the past. Yeah.
Absolutely right. So I fully take your advice there. I really appreciate that. So if people want to find out more about you, Emma, where can they find you in terms of maybe some advice through this time?
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, so I'm not usually much of a social media person, but obviously in this time I've got nothing else to do. So I've started to make a bit more presence on Facebook, doing some self-help videos. I'm trying to sort of put that into Instagram, and eventually when I work out how to get my head around Twitter, I'll be on there properly as well. I've set up a bit of a YouTube channel, and there is actually some foam rolling work on that at the moment. I uploaded some point this week. So that's always a good way to find me. And then my website as well, which is at www.linksinjury.co.uk. There's loads of bits on there. I mean, today, the rest of my day is going to be spent doing some work for technique and some strength and conditioning for the Lincoln Half Marathon that's going to be coming up as well, just to people to stay injury free, because there's going to be 3 big hills in that. And all of that sort of stuff will be on my website as well. So there's a few different things on the website for chronic pain, if you're more of an athletic person or a runner or a CrossFitter, then there's a few different sections on the website for that.
That is amazing. I'll put some links when we share this video out for your social media and your online stuff. Did you say there's going to be big hills in the Lincoln Half?
Yeah.
I'm from Bristol.
3.
Like, there's no hills in Lincoln. What are you talking about? No.
So Carline, Longley's Road, and Yarborough. They are the 3.
And you've got to go down and up each one?
I am sworn to secrecy on what I'm allowed to say.
Okay, cool.
So I do have a little bit of inside information. Unfortunately, I can't share it at the moment, but it has been announced today that there's 3 hills, so I'm allowed to share that.
And what is the date of the Lincoln Half? Do you know?
I want to say it's the 20th of September.
Okay, something like that.
If that's a Saturday, it's the 21st.
And is it full?
It's not full. Yeah, 20th of September. It's not full yet. So if you do fancy it, Tom, or anybody else, then you're more than welcome to. It's organised by Curly's Athletes, and Lincoln City Football Club have got a lot to do with it as well. It's going to be starting and finishing in Booton Park.
Really?
Which is our local park run as well. So that'll be a really, really nice community feel actually to the whole event.
I think that's ideal. Well, if I am free, I will commit to doing it.
Excellent.
Me and Mark get out, but I need to check my diary. If I'm free, I'll do it.
Yeah, you calm might need a bit of work.
You heard it here first. Anyway, Emma, thank you ever so much for joining.
No problem at all.
Final bits of wisdom that you could leave people with.
Yes, stay safe, stay healthy, continue to support RNHS, and keep moving. Keep moving is going to be the main one, because as soon as we are all allowed out again, if you're trying to get back into that normal sort of way of life, you'll probably end up injured if you've not done a lot throughout this time. So keep moving.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I really would encourage anybody, if you're thinking about getting some work on injuries, sports injuries, or sports performance, to really see Emma. Emma has helped me so much and will continue to help me as soon as we can get an appointment again. But thank you ever so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you, Tom, for having me. Cheers. Take care.